Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my Trains Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. This is the last deck from the Sisters of the Rose booster pack that I needed to do a deck profile for. I know we've gone through quite a bit of time since then, but this is the main deck that I was also looking to build from the booster pack, so I wanted to make sure I had everything completely done. And the last thing I actually need to get was one of the easiest things from the pack to get the level 4 super from the set. Had everything else gathered up, but just needed 3 more of that one. It's a really fun deck. The whole point of the deck is a very fast kill deck. You can get big Exceed monsters out on the field that can do heavy damage to your opponent. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the monsters, I run 3 Knight Express Knight. With that, you cannot be special summon from the deck. You cannot normal summon this card without tributing, but you can normal summon this card. Sorry about that. Otherwise, it'd be very, very bad. But you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 0. So the fact that it becomes 0 isn't really that big a deal, since you're going to most likely use Knight Express Knight for an Exceed summon. Other than that, very, very easy card to use. Opening up multiples, you'll just normal summon it and then have its attack become 0. Then you have other monsters to special summon out to go for your Exceed summon. I also run 3 of the new Super Express Bullet Train. It cannot declare an attack unless you send 2 other cards you control to the graveyard. You can only use each of these effects of Super Express Bullet Train once per turn. If all monsters you control are Earth monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And during the end phase that this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can target 1 machine monster in your graveyard except for Super Express Bullet Train and add it to your hand. So great recycle power, great easy special summon, especially since the train monsters are Earth. So even if you normal summon Knight Express Knight to the field, you can easily special summon this and then go for your Exceed summon, and then the search effect to re-add resources to your hand to reuse. Definite 3 of this card for sure as well. Same goes for Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. With this one, if an Earth machine type monster is normal or special summoned to your field except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its original attack and defense become half. You can only use the effect of Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane once per turn. If this card is detached from Exceed material and sent to the graveyard to activate the monster's effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. So benefiting from that effect of whatever one you go for. Just having that destruction effect can really, mess up a lot of your opponent's maybe defensive plays against your train cards for sure. So being able to use it in, correspondence with your other trains that we've already spoken of for an easy special summon as well to overlay just makes for a great 3 of in the deck as well. And then the card that took me forever to get just because, I couldn't find any, but Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. I run 4, 3 of this level 4. My, words are just all over the place with this deck profile. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 Earth machine monster in your graveyard except Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, special summon it in defense, but negates effects. You can target 1 other face-up monster you control. The level of that monster or this card become the level of the other, and you cannot declare attacks this turn you activate this effect except with Exceed monsters. You can only use each effect of Flying Railroad Stampede once per turn. So the setup is great with this card just for your Exceeds, and then the fact that you can only attack with Exceeds doesn't really limit you too much, and you have your level adjustment to work with the fact that Railroad Stampede is a level 4 and not a 10 like all the other trains we've discussed otherwise, but very, very helpful for sure just for that special summon. And then the play is just great late game if your graveyard is set up with your train cards. And I also run 3 Ruffian Railcar. With this one, once per turn, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. And during the end phase of this card in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can add 1 level 10 Earth Machine monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Ruffian Railcar once per turn. So a great way just to burn if you don't need to go for the battle phase this turn. But there are some cards that just obviously you don't need to use your battle phase, but still very, very helpful. And then just the search effect to grab some of your other train cards you can use for your plays. And I also run 2 Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord. It cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summon from your hand by shuffling all monsters in your graveyard into the deck. So that's the main reason I run this card, solely for the easy special summon of a level 10 monster. And then shuffling back all your resources for sure, just to reuse some of the other monsters that you can quickly go through for sure. Very, very helpful for those plays. And just like the fact, it's that one level 10 that can help for the Exceed summon of your cards. And then lastly, for the monsters, I run 2 Ash Blossom. Just decided to run 2 of this card in the deck, just for some of the other numbers. If you want to run 3, I'll show 1 spell card you can maybe take out for it. But like I said, I like it at 2, because most of the time, you just want monsters to, go for your Exceed plays with the deck. The hand trap does help, but you don't really need it for any other options, I would say. And that is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, I run 3 Urgent Schedule, the new spell for the trains. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon 1 level 4 or lower and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck and defense, but negate their effects. You cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect, except with machine monsters. And if this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Urgent Schedule once per turn. So the search definitely does help if you want to bait out your opponent, and then you obviously have the quick play spell to activate in response as well. But the special summon, if your opponent goes first and has board set up, you can easily get monsters out to use with your other ones. So Urgent Schedule definitely does help for those plays. And I also run 3 Special Schedule. With this one, you target 1 machine monster in your graveyard with 3,000 or more attack. Special summon that target in face of defense. You can only activate 1 Special Schedule per turn, and if this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 10 machine type monster in your graveyard, add that target. So more recycle, just like Urgent Schedule, but an easy special from the graveyard. I love to special summon, then obviously use cards like Exodius, just so you don't have to shuffle them all back, but you can still have some of them to use with Special Schedule for sure. And I also run 3 of the field spell Revolving Switchyard. Of all level 10 Earth Machine type monsters you control is normal summon. If a level 10 Earth Machine type monster is normal or special summon to your field, except during the damage step, you can activate this effect. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. Also, you can special summon 1 level 4 Earth Machine type monster with 1,800 or more attack from your deck, and if you do, it becomes level 10. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to add 1 level 10 Earth Machine type monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use 1 Revolving Switchyard effect per turn, only once that turn. So depending on what you want to go for, whether it be the search or the special, you have plenty of options with your Railroad Stampede and your Rail Car to go for, or just the add of the level 10. So definitely 3 of the deck, just to make sure you do open up with that play to use. And I also run 2 Terraforming, just so you have guaranteed search for Revolving Switchyard. And I also, now, fresh off the ban list, to 3 limiter removal. I've tried it out. I really do like just the options with all the other trains, as long as you have them. Just being able to hit big numbers with limiter removal with your monsters is very, very useful and key for sure. That's why I decided to run 3 of it in the deck. If you wanted to run 2, just not to be as risky as I was playing with the trains, you can take 1 out and put in a 3rd Ash Blossom for that spot, but give it a shot. It's definitely a lot of fun for sure to try out the 3 limiter removal. And I also run 2 Potted Desires. Now we run basically 3 of all the play-making cards in the deck, so just for additional draw for your cards, this card definitely doesn't, negate or, have any other negative effects for cards you can miss out on, so definite help for sure, just for the draw power. And I also run 3 Call by the Grave, just to stop hand traps that could be pesky and stopping your own plays. This one definitely does help for sure. And lastly, for these spells, I run 1 Monster Reborn, just being able to special summon back resources to use, especially with some of our Exceed monsters. Definitely helpful for sure. And then for the traps, I just run 1 Barrage Blast. I was testing it out. I liked it, how it ran in the deck. Once per turn, you can detach any number of materials from a machine Exceed monsters you control, then target that many cards on the field, destroy them. If a machine Exceed monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card and 1 machine Exceed from your graveyard to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the banished monster's rank times 200. That final burn has come in handy for me lots of times, which is one reason I definitely do like it. And then the destruction effect for Barrage Blast is just the added benefit for sure for this card. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I run 2 Gustav Max. This one is your detach one to inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent once per turn. That's a key part since that's 1/4 of their damage that they'd have taken care of right then and there for an easy Exceed Summon that you did. And I also run 2 number 81 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora, just for the detach and then target a face-up monster on the field. It's not affected by card effects except for its own until the end of this turn. So easy protection for your big Exceed monsters as well. And I also run 1 Sky Palace Gongora Die, the destruction in the 1000 burn. Definitely does come in handy when you need to take more care or just take care of your opponent's cards. And then I only have 1 Rail Cannon Juggernaut Leeb. I would run more. I would probably take out either some of the next Exceed lineup or some of the Link monsters to add a second one of this into the deck. Very, very helpful for sure. Once per turn, you can also Exceed Summon Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Leeb by using 1 rank 10 machine Exceed monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card, and once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. It gains 2,000 attack and defense. Also, for the rest of this turn, you can only declare an attack with this card. And during battle damage, if this card attacks monsters up to the same number of material it has, +1, it's your kill card, basically, for the deck. If you can make this card, you can go all out against your opponent for heavy damage, along with your, Gustav Max already doing that damage. So, great card, and want to make sure you get out as fast as you can for the deck. I also run 1 Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, just another good card to destroy your opponent's spell and traps. Just 3 level 10s, which is very, very easy in this deck as well to use. And I also run the number 84 and number 35, just being able to go into this and then rank up into Pain Gainer, and then also have number 77 as well for that rank up option. I like playing it, testing it out. If you had some other rank 10s you wanted to try, you can give it a shot, but I am a fan of the number Spider lineup in the deck. And then for the Link monsters, I run 1 Mrs. Radiant with the trains being Earth. If you need to make that Link monster, it definitely does help for the recycle and the power boost. And also 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Summon Sorceress with all the additional numbers you have with this card. Definitely can come in handy when you can make it. And 1 Borreload Dragon to finish off the extra deck. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, finally done with all of the Sisters of the Rose decks, but look forward to updates to a lot of them. For sure, the Rose deck, once, White Rose comes out, definitely want to do an update to that, so definitely excited for that. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.